Milton is shorting Netflix.
Yes, hi Vonnie, how are you? Yes, we shorted the day after the top at 423.20 was a high print. What people are suggesting is bullish in Netflix is actually a bearish portent. You had the four highest up moves of the last 45% gain. You had the four greatest moves on June 13th, 19th, 14th, and 20th. That's a sign of a climax top. A good move is you get the greatest moves at the beginning of the move. When you have the greatest moves at the end of the move, after you're up 45%, it's generally a sign that the stock will turn down. And in fact, at the day of the top, Netflix generated what's called an exhaustion gap. It opened up and remained above the close of a previous day. It was something that took place at Silver in 2011. It took place in Aquins Financial before it declined 90%. It takes place at stocks when it makes its last gap move. Whenever everybody believes it can only go up, it gaps up. So this should be a sign of a top, actually.
And this is one of the stocks that you've seen this in recently. But another really interesting call is Deutsche Bank.
Yes.
You think that Deutsche Bank is actually oversold and it might be time to get in?
Well, the financials are clearly oversold. I mean, they've been declining since January of last year. We follow some cyclical work from the late Paul Montgomery. And they topped on a cycle date in January. There was a cycle date yesterday. It seems to be bottoming on a cycle date. So at least on a short-term basis, we buy the financials here. Getting back to Netflix, IWM as well, which is the Russell 2000, also gapped up into that same day. So it looks as if the market itself is a little overdone to the upside, and we therefore expect to have some sort of a down move, at least for the short term, maybe intermediate term as well.
Milton, could we talk Bitcoin? It's down roughly 70% from its peaks. The Nasdaq post-dot-com bubble fell about 78%. So comparisons there. Is it ripe, though, for a bear market rally?
Well, we actually wrote a report on Bitcoin on December 18th, the day of the top. Also showed an amazing climax top, far greater than the climax top we're seeing in Netflix. We suggested a minimum decline of 70% based on the history of previous climax tops. We declined 70% into yesterday's low. And we're actually recommending our clients purchase at least 1.5% in Bitcoin today. So we're recommending Bitcoin for a short-term bear market rally, exactly.
Yeah. What about tech stocks in general? What's your assessment of the Nasdaq right now?
Well, if Netflix itself looks like it's topping, you have to assume that tech stocks in general are probably topping. As you know, the S&P 500 peaked in January of this year. The NDX made a new high just a couple of days ago. So it suggests a very divergent market. With Netflix topping based on the gap and based on the climax top, you'd assume that all of the FANG stocks are going to be topping as well and declining. I mean, some of my clients have been short for years, not listening to our advice. They don't short them yet. We finally got a sell signal here in June, and we're very strong about that sell signal.
That's fascinating. So Facebook as well, potentially?
I would say, yeah. But the chart is a chart of Netflix, sell Netflix.